Hello everyone, my name is Mitz. Here we're back with Phaser Game Record. So last off as me ending the episode right here, and no further than that. I definitely didn't get a game over because I presented some wrong evidence. Definitely not. And we're gonna do that right here, right now. The best way to go do this. So with my extensive psychological and psychic wisdom from the future, presenting the profile for Paradox is a bad idea for reasons unknown. Don't worry about it. And we actually instead present this. Here's your proof. Better not hold it too close to Freud. I don't want this going up in flames. This probably would be better, like, executed if, like, this the same list was brought up when we talked to Greason about it. Because, it never specify the small details about it. Is that a note you have there, Mr. Wright? I do, Your Honor. The note kindly donated to our case by Detective Jerry Jackson from earlier. I swear to God, that sounds just weird name. Just saying it loud. It's a compilation of the currently known victims of the serial killer, the Boogeyman, aka Hemlock. Okay, you're just boiling up like a kettle, huh? It'd be like tea. So what about that? Why would that concern me? There's a certain name on this list that confuses me, actually. Yeah, and it'd be probably better if, like, this was brought up to Greason. The number one name on this list, Hemlock's first victim. Yeah, I remember writing this before, but literally, since it just seemed like a weird and just innocuous thing. This can't be right. How can he have been killed already? Better just follow through with a bluff and see where it takes me. A well-timed appearance from Greason would be appreciated as well. Clive Warren, Guess the name rings a bell? Yeah, because we never brought it up, and now that we're saying it out of the blue and explaining all this, it seems weird. You're grasping at straws, right? It's a bit late now to be bringing new people into the trial, don't you agree? Ah, but we do know Clive Warren, because he's been using another name. It's now the time to reveal my hidden ace. Okay. That's right. The first victim of the Boogeyman, or Hemlock, was in fact Paradox himself. He's on fucking fire. That's preposterous. Are you forgetting something rather obvious? Paradox was murdered much later by Vex Volper. Bravo, Miles. You speak for us all. I believe Mr. Wright has already begun his descent into despair. We don't speak of the despair word. No, of course I haven't forgotten. To be honest, I haven't completely figured that part out yet. I have, boss. Hi. This probably would be way better if, like, you brought it up before Greason. But boss, it's Terry Greason. Hey, folks, long time no see, I guess. I thought you left for good, and I thought we'd be left here in the dust, kicking the sand. Oh, it's you again, Detective. Mr. Jackson, wasn't it? I could tell that shyster here was over and his overhead needed a Deus Ex Machina. I've only seen one pure Deus Ex Machina. Everything else is just, I don't know. Gosh dang it. Since we ain't in a fairy tale, he's got me instead. Okay, a Deus Ex Machina in pure literal character form. Nice. Just to confirm a few things you just said. Like a giant flying plane coming down to kill off a big baddie in a horror movie. Firstly, Paradox is my man. He was working up for me before he shot upstairs. Was he a subordinate? Or perhaps a partner? Half a nap, boss. That segues this to the shyster second point he made. Paradox was indeed an alias to protect its identity from Eculius, but Clive Warren was the man who died trying to expose them. So you can then confirm that the claims are correct, defense? Wait, I mixed... Okay, I'm gonna keep that. Does that mean that he really was a serial killer's first victim? I got into you, shyster. You figured that one faster than I thought you would. That's right, Your Honor. Good old Clive. Clive's murder was what started the Boogeyman spree. Shot with garrote wire, a piece of a Cadopian ring order card in his body. How do you survive a garroting? No disrespect to your, loss, Detective. Officer Warren was killed later by Vex Volper, as stated earlier, was he not? Well, yeah, but he survived his first run-in with the Boogeyman. He did? But how? A miracle, Al, boss. No one magically recovers from garroting that easily. Always knew it was a tough cookie, but that took the cake. I seem to recall you telling us in your testimony earlier, Detective. The Boogeyman, Hemlock, only targeted members of the Cadopian smuggling ring. I saw him in there uncover. Impersonate a high-ranking member and gather intel from the top. The guy was always good at subterfuge. Too good. Oh, he got mixed in. Huh. He got so good that Hemlock couldn't distinguish him from other members. Let me guess, he was so good that his cover even fooled Hemlock? Mm-hmm. He got caught up in Hemlock's firing lines. He's planning to kill his way to the top. But your man, Officer Warren, he did recover, did he not? Oh, he recovered, all right. A blessing it was, a miracle. I should have let him go. His skills are so good, and I wanted revenge so badly against the smuggling ring. Achilles. I just had to go and send him an undercover job. His last ever. I believe we know the rest, Detective. It's my fault. I sent him to his death. Hemlock failed the first time, but I gave him the chance to make sure his target stayed dead this time. The guy deserved better, boss. He always was telling me his plans for the future. Retiring in a cushy home in the hills, marry a sweetheart, get away from it all. I was 5 years away from retirement. One last job, I said. I didn't mean it literally, damn it. Moment, Detective Jackson. If Officer Warren was indeed your subordinate, then he was carrying out your orders. On the button, boss. Why do you ask? Presuming that means yes, I wonder something. Did you perchance order Officer Warren to slip into the records room and take that knife? Would you know why he did such a thing? No, I didn't tell him to do that. Scout's honor. I ordered him to snoop around the local precinct to look into Achilles' activity. The records room visit, the knife, the interrogation incident. That was all him. Looks like I, will never know the truth of what his intentions were. Did he bring into the interrogation to put Volper in the coals? We know now he was on the Achilles member he was after. It just makes so much sense. But how? How do you find something like that out? So Warren was the first victim of Hemlock's plan to climb the ranks of the smuggling ring. Wait, well, I was gonna say, could someone really survive a garroting? But there's already another Phoenix Wright case where someone survived a strangulation. So yeah, it checks out. Could this have been the personal stake he had that Greason mentioned yesterday? No, oh no way. Well, of course you don't know Phoenix. Come to think of it, I still don't know Greason's personal motive for revenge against Achilles. Was Warren's death the reason? Or something else? We'll find that out as the time comes. So you see, Your Honor? Being the killer's first victim, then rising to the grave to seek vengeance? I think Perry Docks had more than enough reason to pursue Hemlock. Does that answer your question, Chief Freud? Well, you're back to this now. One more question, if you will. What else could you have to... Okay, you're back. Shut up while I'm talking. I'm not done with you yet, maggot. Well, guess what? I'll be turning to a beautiful fly and just become annoying to you to the ends of the earth. Ah, not this again. Now that you remembered your place, I'll continue. I'll play along, pretend that the charlatan trying to go after Hemlock. Then tell me, Phoenix, right? Where do I come into this? Docks is after Hemlock, not me. Why am I still here talking to you, vermin? Oh, maggot of vermin? Oh, wow. I wonder which is worse. Now, that's a good question. Where does this chief come into this whole situation? You know he's trying to hide his connection to Hemlock, so what does it... Oh my god, that's it. There's one more answer that will force another day of investigation. And I have it. I can tell by that look in your eyes that you just realized your situation. Come on, son, just hand over your badge and let me melt into a puddle of slag. Not in your life. It's already happened before. Wait, it never happened before. What are you talking about? No, that never happened. And let you get away so easily? I think not, Chief Freud. You're hiding something big about this whole investigation, and I know what it is. I dare you make that assumption. Oh, I dare. Because what you're hiding might very well explain a few issues with our Brisbane case, too. Just for no particular reason, nothing happened at all. May explain a few issues with our Brisbane case, too. A few issues. I have reason to believe, Chief Freud, that you cover up evidence you're not connected. You're a Hemlock. You cover up evidence. This knife, the one a Volper used to take Doc's life, as well as the one other life before him. It's my belief that you tried to cover this up, and did a shoddy job of asking someone to, look for the knife, and not telling anyone what it is. Like, what? Still, gosh, take fire. Order the court. Mr. Wright, are you serious? You're now accusing the chief of police of recovering evidence? I understand that's a little warm in here, but I think the heat might have gone to your head. It's no time for you to make puns, even though that was a fine joke. keep going to Wright's head. What a tempting offer. Well, I guess what? I'll have my body temperature at a cool 98 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit. I don't want it to be any less or more. Oh, fuck. I'm already all over the place. Put my neck in the line. I'm not backing down now. I was in the assumption, Chief Wright, that any and all evidence found in an investigation goes through you. Agreed? If that's the case, then I have a problem with this knife. I have a feeling that we have never seen it before. We haven't. No, we haven't. I've been thinking back and forth, and like, this is supposed to tie into the VDA case of Grossberg. We've never seen a fucking knife before. Say another word and I'll roast you where you stand. Well, guess what? I'm not a roasted spit on a fire. Chestnuts on a roasted fire. And do you know why I think that is? Here's what I find wrong with a VD8 knife. This finger plants the orange bloodstain, the other bloodstain. The other bloodstain. That's something, yeah. The knife is currently undergoing more in-depth tests right now, and that is all down to one simple flaw. Refresh your memories, Mr. Wright. What is this flaw? Tell me, Your Honor. Aside from Clive Warren, who else is this knife supposed to have killed? Who else? Why, that would be the victim of VD8, Marvin Grossberg. Correct. But remember that the old faded bloodstain was found to be a different type to Grossberg's. Meaning that this knife was originally used in VD8 to stab someone else. Like, it looks like a normal kitchen knife, so it could be literally anything. Order, order, order. But I don't understand. How was Grossberg killed if it wasn't his blood? Because, Your Honor, this was a knife we were once led to believe. There must have been a second knife involved in the VD8 case. As that case's attorney, I clearly don't recall a second knife being in the equation. A second knife. Oh, did we get a knife already before? If there was a knife in the first VA case, then we picked up there was no. I think I remember. Oh my god, why did I remember this now innocuously? That. Well, the fact like I forgot actually led me down the right path, didn't it? Fuck. The fact that the knife, I think there was a knife on the scene of Grossberg's murder, and we asked Marshall about it, and there was no fingerprints on it. I think I remember that clearly, just no fingerprints, Or maybe I'm just fabricating there was a knife for the scene to begin with. I don't even know. My memory's shoddy at this point. Why would that be, Chief Wright? If the old bloodstain doesn't belong to Grossberg, then whose is it? That's what the initial test will hopefully tell us. Test which Chief Wright protested against, if the court recalls. I didn't. Jeez, it's just me, or is it getting hot in here? Get a fucking fire extinguisher. I'd better just step outside, get some fresh air before I burn up. What a shame, because I'm about to really turn up the heat. Hold it! I have more to say! No, you don't. No, he doesn't, Your Honor. Not if he wishes to see another dawn, he doesn't. Proceed, Mr. Wright. What else do you have to say? Answer the question of mine, I believe, is what Wright wanted next. You said earlier that the VD8 knife held the issues to their case. Brisbane's assault? Would you elaborate on this for us, Wright? I'm lost on what Phoenix is saying about that. Don't put it on me. It's simple, really. If Chief Wright is proven to have been covering up evidence from past cases such as VD8, are you gonna say like there's cover-up evidence from this case as well? And who's to say that he hasn't been doing so for our current case too? Especially since we now have the credit, also the other vouch of like he's an earpiece as here as someone talking to him. You can't really disgruntle that now. Like a number of facts. Who knows from what else has been kept from us all? Chief Wright, what say you in the face of these allegations? Are they true? Have you really been withholding evidence? Can't we ever really say if something is true? Don't you fucking dare pull the stupid truth versus lies theme on me. I've already thought about it for so long, and I don't think you're gonna add another new facet onto it for me. Truth can be subjective. No, did I subjectively withhold evidence? Well, I guess we just go objectively speaking. Yes, you did. This simply will not do as a satisfactory answer, Chief Wright. As you are a loss for words, I will have no choice but to take Mr. Wright's allegations seriously. Oh, no you don't, Phoenix Wright! He's still not letting up? How could he possibly reveal his way out now? You thought it would be that easy? Let me out as a villain here? That's sad, son. I feel sorry for you. Except I don't. You can fake that emotion, can't you? What's your point, Chief Wright? Straight to the point, then. What would I have to gain from hiding evidence? It'd be great joy to break it to you, young man. But that's an impossible question for you to answer. What do you stand to gain from covering of evidence? Especially this case. Especially evidence. Gain stand from covering of evidence. Maybe not really as much a game, but he's being blackmailed? Yes. Maybe I'll have to think outside the box this one. I can't prove why Freud would want to withhold evidence in these cases, and perhaps I shouldn't be focusing on Freud at all. It just might be possible that... That's it. That's the answer. Freud wasn't doing this for himself. He was doing it for... Chief Freud, get ready to eat your words, because I can answer your impossible question. You can, Mr. Wright? Well then, what reason would Chief Freud have for conducting cover-ups? It's all in his own best interest, make no mistake. Secret interests. Although, I bet they're not entirely secret, are they, witness? Hey, just what do you imply by that remark? Well, the reason you aimed to keep this knife a secret was because you were being coerced into doing so. Somebody has been looking over your shoulder, breathing down your neck all this time, haven't they? Oh, why am I insulting underhanded? Oh my gosh. I'm right, aren't I? Answer the question. Jesus. I can't. He's listening to us as we speak. Oh my gosh. He's listening. Not the chief, too. So Volper wasn't the only one. It wasn't just a paranoid ramblings of a lunatic. Chief Freud now looks as scared as he did. Volper, Detective Smith, and now the chief. Are they all being threatened by the same force? The force known only as... Mr. Wright, you claim that the chief of police is being coerced by somebody? And you believe this is to be the reason for the alleged evidence cover-ups? They are mere allegations. They are completely, utterly true and unproven. Besides, Phoenix Wright, who would dare think they can find a shot of Freud? Someone from a higher power. Somebody with a lot of backing and power, that's who. There's only one person in recent memory who can be. Your Honor, the defense wishes to name the one person who's been tugging at the police force's strings. The puppeteer behind the chief's actions, the mastermind of Errol Brisbane's attempted murder. Not to mention that of Perry Docks, aka Clive Warren's murder. No, don't do it, son. You have no idea who you're dealing with here. You'll regret it forever. Your constant defensiveness and threats won't stop me, Chief Freud. They only confirm and solidify your guilt. Well, Mr. Wright, please give us a name. And who is the so-called puppet master? And since we already know who this is, I'm saving this for coming back later for no reason. So-called puppet master. Yeah. No, don't say his name. Don't let him catch on. You have no idea what he's capable of. So it's true. He's listening to us. You have no idea what he's capable of. There's no two ways about it. It's him. He's been behind the whole thing. And he was the one who, weirdly enough, once both Phoenix and Edgeworth go on this case for whatever reason. And he's like the true perpetrator? Why? I appreciate the warning, Chief Wright, but you can't silence me. The man in question must be exposed for his involvement in these crimes. And the name of that man is Hemlock. A common poison. Order! I will have order! Chief Freud, the defense accuses you of communications with a criminal to withhold evidence. Not to mention how that would seriously affect our current investigation if it is true. Allegation of covering up evidence. In other words, perverting the course of justice. Naturally, you will be under a full investigation once today's proceedings end. Is there anything you wish to say in your defense, Chief Freud? Investigation? I laugh at your investigation. Okay, you're back to your normal self. I don't know how to take that. Search me all you want. You won't... Oh, you're blushing again. You won't find a morsel. Are you happy, Mr. Wright? Do you get your kicks destroying people's lives, their reputations, Well, I mean, if they decide to go against and try to ruin someone else's life, yeah, I do get a kick out of that. Throwing around plastic, stupid slander about. Why me, damn it? Why me? Okay. I can't stop. Why can't I? Oh boy. Okay, you gone full demonic. Oh boy. I think its soul just been possessed. Then exercised. Is it safe to come out now? Oh my god. I think so, Your Honor. We just witnessed another demonic possession of this court. Okay, I'll take it back. We should have allowed the air conditioners. In the deepest pits of hell. Wait, where is the Chief Wright gone? Oh my god. He's escaped. Guards, after him. And take some fire extinguishers with you. Like I said before, thank you. Someone else hasn't. Good idea. In fact, hold the fire department too. And a carpenter replace the door. Mr. Edgeworth, has Chief Wright been successfully tracked down? By following the trail of embers and smoldering ground he left in his wake, he was found to have returned to his office. Learned to cool off to today's proceedings. Needless to say, investigations for Wright's assertions will be underway shortly. So they will be taken seriously, Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright, and if Chief Wright is found to have been in cohorts with Hemlock, as well as being threatened by him to covering up evidence for past cases, then the investigations for our case of Mr. Braceman's assault could be seriously compromised. And naturally, Hemlock himself will be found and brought to court to testify. Oh my gosh, how is that gonna work? We don't even know who they are. Oh no. Well, at this point, just based on pure story logic, and since this case, like, literally this whole game is, like, bringing up a lot of, like, what was it? Other facets, like, literally bring up every other case. It brought up Marvin Grossberg case, like, literally, well, because of, like, Cedric Mabel Thorpe's, you know, murders happening again, that means, like, the whole thing, the hotel is being brought up again. And the third case of, like, literally just Vic's Volper, and now this. That means literally anyone from, like, we've seen this case, this fan game so far, could be Hemlock. As to say, if it's not someone, like, you know, something, like, some person who's completely new. Yeah. So it's either someone we already know, or just someone completely new. But the sound of it, there's no one we know so far is that, I guess, cocky and arrogant we heard on the phone. That they're just a very good actor. Precisely. We cannot allow this man to slip away if he is to be involved in a party. He must be at least identified by tomorrow morning. Oh no. Okay, this is gonna be... Well, actually, I was gonna say, we now have our gosh dang Magatama back on hand. The real one, no doubt. Now, how many Cyclops are we gonna see today? Oh gosh. We only seen one from Chief Wright. That means we're gonna talk to him again, aren't we? Huh. And maybe whoever else has Cyclops. I think Renwick Smith was supposed to have some too. That's actually led to him, like, the breaking of it. So, obviously, like, Smith has some Cyclops. Because we still, like, Phoenix hasn't been told about the whole Smith being blackmailed by Hemlock this entire time. Still, though, the Enigmium, where has that gone? Identifying a man whose only presence has been through the phone. It could be anywhere in the world, or closer than we think. Maybe it's across the river. We have no way of knowing until I get to the bottom of the truth. I think that's a good place to end today's proceedings. Oh, indubitably so. Due to the new facts brought to the light today, I'm forced to issue one last day for investigation. Because of this deadline, we must return now to the matter of the stolen Enigmium case. Results of the evidence cover-up and allegations may very well aid the investigation. Oh boy. I think that's my favorite part of this case so far, just the whole thing with the evidence cover-up. That's a whole interesting thing to think about, just weasel and just think of leads for. The man known as Hemlock, if he really is behind it all, must be identified. That's a tall order for just one day. Well, guess what? We're in a restaurant now, so we have a tall order and lots of sandwiches to make. turkey dinners. I've miraculously come through and made this happen, so I can't let it be for nothing. Hemlock, this time, we're coming to get you. Oh boy. And that is all. Court is adjourned. So... I was so close to going so many times. April 15th, 11:58 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1. Renwick, we may have another lead after all. Yeah, that Hemlock guy, whoever he is. Don't play coy with me. I think you're more familiar with Hemlock than you let on. Do you remember yesterday's visitor meeting at the detention center? Detective, you wouldn't happen to know who this Hemlock character is, would you? Can't say. He's listening to us as we speak. Same way as Volper and the Chief just now. Who is this guy? He wouldn't be the real culprit, would he? No comment. Do you hear me? I said no comment! That was from the phone line, the phone from the very beginning of this case. He's the real culprit here, I know it. And keep in mind, Renwick, anything I dig up today that proves your connection to him will be exposed too. I'm not gonna sugarcoat the facts for your benefit. I just hope you know that. Fine. Take whatever you want. Take to the center of the earth if that's what your takes you. Just make sure you find the one responsible. It does turn out to be me. Besides, everything to be examined has already been examined twice. What else could you possibly do in today's investigation? I don't want to say you have a point, but you have a point. Besides that, too, like I brought up earlier. Does that mean we literally only have... So that means either, like, we're gonna find someone who's been... Like, who knows who Hemlock is and where they're hiding, or literally just the fact they are secretly Hemlock? Or just the fact of it down. That means, like, literally Hemlock is a guy, unless the woman knows how to do voice acting that well to be a man. I know what I'm gonna do. Don't you worry, Renwick. Or worry if you know you have reason to. Hey, boss. Oh, hi. Ah, Grayson, how come you... Hey, you! Don't I know you from someplace? Huh? Of course you do, it's me, Not you, shyster. You. Me? Why would I know you? Nope, don't think so. You sure about that, boss? I know I've seen you someplace before. In a courtroom reading, in a court library's reading room. It's almost crazy to think that has two different incidents. Better yet, like this, the courthouse has two attempted murders that we know about, technically, along with this fan game. I better be off. Okay. No worries. Must have just been about the precinct. You may scare him off. Grayson, I'm not expecting to ever see you in a courtroom. Let's just take the stand. It is what it is, boss. You guys need my help, and it was a good thing to put to use. Using the boogeyman victim list, realized that Warren was a victim numero uno. You got brains, boss. Yeah, that was a bit, subtle. That's the word. Very subtle. Do you know anything about the Chief being in Hemlock's pocket? If it's true or not? Sorry, ain't got a clue. I'm interested in this client of yours. What's Smith, that's his name? What happened between you and this Renwick customer? He's a regular paying customer at the Phoenix restaurant, don't worry about that. Me yesterday? Well, he seems to know a lot more about Hemlock than he'd like to tell me. And a phone call from the man himself seemed to imply that he's been on the right side of the law. Yeah, if Renwick turns out to have been in the peculiarest crowd all this time, that ain't good. But hey, I'm a cynical guy. Hemlock's probably just trying some cheap tricks to get away. I hope so. But I'm gonna do a little truth-seeking today, so we'll know soon enough. Anyway, I got off the moose for now and carrying on my side of investigation. Looks like we got my scent now up on the stand. Who knows about that guy? He could have been right there in the audience the whole time, for all we know. Possibly so. See you soon, Grayson. I'll be around. Renwick? I thought you left. That guy. Yeah, it's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite remember where I've seen him before. Not that I exaggerate, just had to slang ring a bell, but... Hold on, wait a minute. Interpol investigator from the court library incident. No, wait, that was him? James Trent is on this case now? Wait. James who? No, his name is... Yeah, that was him. What is he doing here? Whoa, better slow things down and ask one question at a time. What did you say his name was? James Trent? That smug show steal. I haven't forgotten about him after all these years. You sure that's his name? His real name. That's who introduced himself as way back when. Unless that was just another fake name. Who knows if that's stuck up show off. James Trent. Grayson's looking into the DT2 aftermath too? That's kind of an interesting development. I'll have to ask him about it when I see him next. Before I begin, I better head back to the office to sort out my plan of action. Huh. For 15th, 12:22 p.m. Ranco offices. Today's investigation will be a tall order. Just on a regular Phoenix restaurant extraordinaire, al dente style. Ding ding, here comes next order. To my knowledge, there isn't much else to investigate besides those test results. But now that I have my trusty Magatama back, I can work on discovering the truth. Also, actually, like, I got reminded right now, a bunch of stuff we haven't actually, like, used entirely just yet. What haven't we used so far? The blood in the cabinet, that's for one. What else was it? This envelope has not been accounted for. What else was it? I think it was just those two, but we haven't... The person's jacket is here, too. What's the purpose of that? Like, his whole entire inner of the code is, like, covered in blood and all that. I think, to some varying degree, we used all of the stuff besides those two. I think we're probably going to learn exactly how else the crime went down. Like, you know, like what the movements of the victim and culprit were at the time. Probably for the final trial, maybe. If, like, you know, these two pieces of evidence actually come up for a bit, or technically three. Code, envelope, and the blood. Envelope? We still don't even really know the contents of the envelope either. If I believe Detective Smith or Chief Wright on who stole it, it doesn't matter. What matters first and foremost is uncovering the deeply hidden truth, piece by piece. Yeah, and like the pieces of this fake Magatama. Okay. That, I believe, will reveal what Hemlock has been hiding so well. His identity. Well, I hate to break it to you, whoever you are, but your days of hiding are numbered. This time, Boogeyman, it's me who's coming to get you. Okay, that's enough preparation. It's time to get out there and put my plan to action. Hemlock. Aw, you really gotta get me today, Nicky boy. I gotta say, I miss these little pep talks to have to yourself when you think no one's listening. Oh, by the way, nice playing words. No, Boogeyman, it is I who will get you. I bet you're playing that one earlier in the trial to use against me, huh? Well, you've done it, buddy boy. You officially got me scared. Oh, boots shaking and everything. I might as well just give up with Phoenix right in the case. Shut up. What was that? You might say that again, Slick. I said shut up. I'm done listening to your threats and insults. Alright, real talk for a moment. I don't blame you for talking out of line there. I'm just a disembodied voice to you, right? What kind of voice wants to do to harm you? Same here. You all don't even know my face, so what can I do to harm you except list all your social security numbers and your addresses and IP address? You don't know me very well, but I know you're a great deal more than you know yourself. I know your office is. I know where you live. I know your phone number, for Christ's sakes. You think my threats are hollow? I thought I'm just a big badass on the other end of a phone. I'm still waiting for you to come out into the open. Why don't you, then? Just try and see how quickly you get arrested. What am I thinking talking to him like this? Well, you're having a bad streak right now, Phoenix. You're getting confident. Nah, ain't happened for the moment. I ain't the way I've been playing the way it all goes. You see, Nicky, I'm a man who likes everything to go a very specific way. I stayed out all negativity from my life by making sure none of it even happens. Oh, really now? That sounds toxic. In order for everything to be hunky-dory, a lot of stuff has to be pre-planned, you know? I'll have you know. And what does any of this have to do with the case? Are you saying you're involved? No, I'm saying the way things are going right now, keep them on course. Don't go against the grain, slugger. The tiniest thing goes wrong and I'm liable to... Liable to what? That was the end of the sentence. But I want something, buddy? I get it. I can do anything I set my mind to. Remember that. And when things get out of line, I take control and put them back in line. Back the way I like them. Who knows? Maybe I'll get the chance to prove it to you someday. But how can you expect everything to go exactly as you plan? Oh, come on, you've heard the saying. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. Not to the extent of becoming a god. Yeah, but not literally anything. That's impossible. Like, the only way you're gonna have the powers of God if you suddenly have mystical powers to control everyone's minds, but no, you're a living person that has to blackmail people, and it has a listen thing onto that. And just because of the whole thing I deduced earlier, you only have audio trackers and not video trackers. That's a blind spot right there. Yeah, but literally anything, that's impossible. Nothing's impossible, champ. I'm living proof of that. The impossible is possible. All you gotta do is make it so. Look, is there a point to all this? Tell me now before I hang up and turn my phone off. Easy there, Tiger. I was gonna tell you anyway, but that was my idea. And by the way, golden rule if you want to stay off my Hemlock's bad side, you do not hang up on him. Oh, this guy. I'd give anything to know where he is right now and send the police over. Now, this kind you drag my name to with no concrete proof. There's a very specific way in which I see it all ending. Here's my spoiler for your review. You won't be happy. Well, guess what? I'm gonna break my golden rule of saying give me a spoiler rundown of you know? Yeah, because you don't know how it's gonna go down. I'm very stickler about spoilers. Hopefully I haven't spoiled anything, like, accidentally going through this whole fan game. Hopefully not. Jesus. I probably... I know, I played on a few things. The whole thing of just immediately making Cedric suspicious. Mostly it's a way to make him not suspicious. Because if I make something suspicious, then people will think it's not suspicious, but then it's actually trickery and all that. Just a constant, infinite feedback loop. You do something very close to your heart, like you nearly did today. And you can seriously guarantee that this will happen. Whatever it is you're talking about. I guess you got this all figured out, huh? You'll bear dearly for bringing me into this and risking my identity being exposed. But ho-hum, I'm sure you can look back on all one day and laugh. I know I will. Now on your way, Slick. Don't forget that I'm always... That's enough out of you for now, I think. I'll turn my phone off too so you can't call me back. Jeez. That was some nutcase in the past, but Hemlock. Is he serious that he feels everything should go the way he wants it to? It's impossible for someone to have that kind of power. That's true that how much influence has been asserting over this case? Much of the events of the past few weeks have occurred according to him. Just on the side of everything, so that means literally we have to think creatively. Like, if literally every single part of this is being faceted by Hemlock, and that means, was there any weird occurrences that happened in, like, the last 3 cases to, like, think about and maybe tie to him? Maybe. But then again, he does seem to be able to hear everything I'm saying at all times. Might my phone be remotely bugged or something? I'll keep it off for the time being. Feeling pretty creeped out at the moment. If I realize that, I'll probably take my battery out as well, actually. Okay, it's time to find out what's been going on. The true mastermind, Hemlock, be brought out into the light for all to see. The truth, all of it, comes out today. And that's a good place to get this off here. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Oh yeah, and this is just... oh boy, this is commenting so nicely and so well. And just... oh boy. It's fun. It's a fun time. Oh boy. So if we want to catch a Hemlock, and it seems like he has so many different ties to basically everything that's happening so far in the past, that means, what was it? So it's a second knife, part of the Grossberg case, with someone else's blood on it. You gotta figure out that is who. I already know who it is, and it's probably easy to figure out who it is, but I'm gonna leave that in the air for people just following along to just be, have your time to shine, please. Your time to shine. Oh boy. There's a few. I'm wondering, was there any weird occurrences in any of the cases so far? I guess the knife is like one that was never like really addressed in the first case. And if I'm right about like my memory's not being shoddy and just what was it? They did find a knife for Grossberg's murder, but there was no fingerprints on it. Then literally was a second knife at the time as well, which no one heard about and all that. And was there anything weird? Well, I guess entirely the third case, if like what we're going through is real, but the whole thing, we just learning about the whole garroting incident. If Vex Welper didn't kill Cedric Mapplethorpe, then Hmm. Why did Vex Wolper then immediately decide to kill Paradox? Unless, huh? This really makes too much sense. Plus, also the fact, like, no matter what, even if it was like someone else, like both Maggie's outside the room, Snow was there, and we basically proved him all right. And plus, even like what was it? Paradox brought the knife in, like by himself, so like this can't really be premeditated. At the same time, it kind of was with the poison satch in there, and it was Plum Snow's coffee. Like, it doesn't make sense why it would Snow if you wanted to. Okay, if we're going with this, if Vex Developer is not the person who killed Paradox, hmm, what was it like? It's a so Hemlock wants everything to go his way no matter what, even if it frames like so many other people. Since the blackout was very like coincidental, that means like literally it would be framed on either just Vex or Snow, like literally both. And we think we basically proved entirely without a fast of a doubt, like, Snow wasn't wearing gloves at the time. He like literally just wasn't wearing gloves at the time. Just so he couldn't have grabbed the knife and he couldn't have stabbed, Paradox and left because literally, as Maggie herself said, and literally we went on this tirade before, Maggie was literally out the door when Snow ran out after the murder happened. Maggie directly said that he didn't have any gloves on. And then Vex Wolper was into the room the entire time, and I'm pretty sure if he was defending himself, like, he's saying to everyone that he was completely not guilty, then he would have brought someone else to the room tampering with evidence. He would have. This doesn't really make too much sense. Oh my gosh, well, that paranoia is going into there. So, like, the boogeyman is some being that's, like, forever, like, everywhere and everything. Like, You know what the worst part is, really? Actually thinking about it now, what was it? Like, maybe, what was it? Vex Volper was actually also very, what was the word? He was very paranoid about Hemlock. And, like, if someone else is in the room at the time, or maybe slipped in, like an interrogation room before the blackout occurred, it's actually hard, like, that keeps going back to, like, the blackout was very incidental, though. Like, my first thought was if Hemlock, like in the boogeyman, was hiding in the room, waiting for a good opportunity to strike, and maybe they were trying to kill all three of them, then they'll slip out. Maybe the blackout occurred, then like they just thought, oh, this is a good place to do it. Then like, literally just grab the knife off the table, just looking things up. Maybe he already brought like his own way to kill someone. Like if the garrote wire is any indication, he probably want to kill like the sound of it looks like Perry Dox is always going to be like a victim in that case. So kill Perry Dox, then have it be framed on either of the two. Maybe that actually explains the poison sachet, the atroquinine underneath the table. It was all planned from the start to like kill and frame. That would actually be kind of cool. And then on the like literally on the dime, just because of blackout, change of plans right at the back real quickly. Just poison the Snow's mug, and just kill Perry Dox. Then like the whole thing. The blackout happened, and since Snow like after the lights came back on, Snow saw the corpse, freaked out like hell, then ran out, and Maggie only saw like, as she said before, she only saw through a small slit in the door. That means someone else had been hiding in the room, and since Vex is also very gosh dang paranoid about the boogeyman, someone else could have been in the room, and just the fact of like, just all that, and since Vex was being like coerced into saying just all that to not tell anyone who was there was anyone else in the room. They were just hiding in the room, like in the corners. Maggie definitely didn't go into the room until like literally arresting Snow, taken to a cell, then hearing from Snow, go back to the crime scene. You let the murderer in there, just Vex by himself, and they go back in, and the room's completely empty. They left them alone for like a few couple minutes. So if evidence was stolen from there, well, I mean, what am I talking about? The knife was always there from the beginning. So they still could have someone in the room from the very beginning, hiding in the shadows, kill, then go, and all that. Just how tight like the third case is, like it's very interesting to think about this. So that means like Well, if it was anyone besides Vex, if we're thinking about it, even though his fingerprints are on the knife, if we're going this whole thing that Vex Vulpur is simply just completely, wholesalely innocent, then, it has to be someone else who just had gloves on the scene. Literally the only way how this works at all, entirely, if, like, Vex is completely innocent, just the sounds of it, and Hemlock is in the scene, and, like, the garrote wire proves there's some connection to that. How did Vex Welper also get a garrote wire in prison? How did he get Ajaquinine in the prison? All that, especially since his ties to Red White is all gone and dandy. Just, yeah. It doesn't make sense. Hemlock was part of that case, too, if we're going with that. All the other ones. Probably rambled on more and probably give maybe too many hints as far as to know, but just thinking about how it goes, just like even when I know everything, just making it possible possibilities. It's great. Hmm. Hmm. It's great. Oh boy. I think I rambled on far long enough about possibilities, but literally every case so far is connected. I'll give that much. And whether I completely lied about the whole possibility of what happened in the interrogation room, or literally just the fact, like, maybe, just maybe, there's something else going on play which we haven't figured out in the interrogation room, even though we went over that whole entire case like several times over. Everything else, it's even brought up again with the evidence knife. Maybe there's some new facet to it. Basically, concretely proves almost everything. Because we're no closer to figuring out who Hemlock is, because unless we find some miraculous new evidence that just appears with the ether from somewhere or other, then that's not going to be the case. All we can rely on right now is just pure, living, quote unquote, testimony from people when we just psycholock them to, living hell and back, excuse me. Oh boy. We never had that Magatama before. We had the real one before, and now we have it from the beginning now. It's time to crack up all these loose ends and tie us up once and for all for good. So we join me for then. So, hope a fun time watching this as I am playing this. See you next time, what time may be, and I all hope you have a fantastic day.